Are we ready to do this mercy parkour?
I don't know, guys. I'm kind of nervous.
Man, we got this. It's gonna be easy.
I agree, we got this. Okay, follow me. Now you go.
Man, this is gonna be easy. I'll roll through this.
Okay, Lily babe, you got this.
Wait for me.
Alright, checkpoint 2 is up. Don't swing too early or you'll...
I got this. YOLO. Okay, never mind.
That was a good first try.
I wasn't even trying for real.
Guys, does the sky always flicker like that?
Relax, that's just the workshop's charm.
Did the map just shake? And why does the water look like that?
Okay, that's not normal.
Oh no, I know this map was haunted.
Uh...
Oh my gosh, what is that?
What the hell is
Wait,
that?
what's happening?
No!
Guys,
Wait!
help!
Wait! Oh my gosh, who was that?
Was that part of the level?
We have to go after her.
Yeah, YOLO.
We need to find Lily.
Oh look, there she is.
Oh my gosh, Lily, we're so glad to see you!
Oh my god!
Kara?
He's right behind me, isn't he?
You have outgrown the old editor. Now it is time for a new.
Are we dead?
You once had various limitations, but now you are free. Welcome to the new piece editor.
Oh no, not again.
Are we being dead ass?
Oh my god, where are we?
What is this?
I trust the being didn't give you guys too much trouble.
My soul left my body.
This isn't the old piece. Where are we?
You're in the new piece editor. The controls are easier to follow, the lag less common, and the movement, that's yours to shape.
Can I still crash the game?
Only if you try really hard.
This is beautiful.
Come on, let me show you where to start.
I am so ready for this.
I hope it goes better this time.
Wait, is there still checkpoints? Wait, guys, don't leave me behind!
Hello, as some of you may know, I previously created a video on the piece version 1 editor, also known as the old piece editor, which will later be reworked because of some of the things that were left out. But now I've decided to create a video on the newer piece editor. This video will go over basic controls, customizations, and a lot more in-depth, which will hopefully make it easier to understand, also making sure I cover everything in a shorter time. But if you would like to check out the piece version 1 editor video, both Ayana's and mine will be linked in the description. Before we dive into the video, I have something super exciting to share. Thanks to our amazingly talented Mina and some of our other awesome community members, we now have a Mercy Parkour website. In this website, you're able to see the latest codes, a random code generator, and it teaches you how to do Mercy text. It also includes some extra things like a general map difficulty key, which can help you understand the difficulty of your own maps. And it also has editor resources for all 3 editors. Before we start setting up the parkour, I just want to leave off with one quick note. This video will not be like my last editor guide video, which shows a lot of customizations. Instead, I will be making a separate video and document covering customizations. However, if you have any questions about customizations or quality of life changes, please feel free to join the Mercy Parkour Discord server and ask in our map making help section. The first thing you should do when creating a map is going into your custom games. Now you want to open up your own game and head over to lobby settings. Look for this icon with the downward pointing arrow. This is where you're going to import the code for the newer piece editor. Import the code 23457 for the newer piece editor. After you've input the code, you now want to scroll all the way down until you find this orange workshop settings. Edit mode is what allows you to make or change the layout of your parkour. Turning it off means you won't be able to edit the map when you're in-game. This is why edit mode should be turned off when you're finished making the layout of your parkour. Default checkpoint radius is going to be the default size of the checkpoints when you place down a checkpoint. This means you won't have to manually fix the checkpoint size in the parkour if you want them all to be the same size. But keep in mind you can always edit the size of the checkpoints in-game.
Heroes never die. Heroes never die.
Crouch enabled by default allows you to automatically enable crouch in each new level instead of having to manually add it in-game. You can always enable and disable what levels allow crouch in-game, regardless of whether you're turning this on or not. Bot gravity free allows you to place a bot in the air without it falling to the floor. Keep in mind that some characters like Genji, Juno, Pharah, and more tend to fly away when placed in the air. To fix this, you would need to replace a rule in the workshop editor with a new one, but I'll be showing you how to do that a little later on in the video.
Heroes never die. Heroes never die.
Hero used by bot is what allows you to change the target bot for your parkour. So instead of manually going into the parkour workshop settings, like in the old piece editor to change the target bot, you can just do it here. Allow resurrection within current checkpoint allows you to res inside of the checkpoint. But if you don't want the player to choose a level by resing on point, you can turn this off and it'll reset them after they try to res.
Our work is not done. Look at that.
Allow resurrection within next checkpoint allows you to be able to res even while on the target checkpoint. I think this is really cool because it would no longer require you to have to make a walking level when you want to include some of these reses in your parkour. But do keep in mind if you want to turn this on, you would also have to turn on allow resurrection within current checkpoint just because the concept is a little new, so it can be a little buggy without it.
There's much for you to do. I'm here to support. Helping you out. Not on my watch.
Undo Steps is a special addition to Piece 2.0 that allows you to delete an effect that you put down, like an orb, cloud, or sphere, without having to go into each category and delete them one by one. But we'll get into that a little more later. What maximum number of consecutive undo steps does is that it limits you to the amount of times you can activate undo steps. If you're somebody who likes to use a lot of effects in their maps, I would probably consider raising the number if you want to start deleting a lot of effects at once. Auto Backup is another cool feature that comes with Piece 2.0. It allows you to auto-save your game between every time interval that you choose. This means that instead of having to manually save, it automatically saves after a certain amount of time, which can help you prevent the server from crashing and you losing all of your data because of a bug or the lobby just being up for way too long. You can either decide if you want to display the difficulty of your parkour here or not, unlike in the older piece editor where you had to go through a lot more steps just to be able to do this. The only weird thing about it is that they're represented in stars instead of actually named difficulties, but you're able to decipher them this way as shown on screen. Display all orb icons allows you to either display all orb icons at once by turning it on, or display the next orb you're supposed to go to after collecting the previous orb by turning it off. Target checkpoint style is the effect that the target checkpoint uses, not the one that you're already on. There are also 3 different styles that you're able to choose from. Lock checkpoint style is what shows up when you haven't completed the level requirements like collecting an orb or resurrecting a bot. Sadly, you can't turn it off in the orange workshop settings, so you would have to manually turn off the action in the workshop, but I'll be showing you how you can do that. You first want to open up the workshop and scroll until you find rule 92, which should say create global HUD and effects. Now you want to open up this rule and scroll all the way down until you find this action. It should say locked checkpoints cannot be entered at the top. To select an action, you would click on this little box next to it and ensure that it has a green check mark on it to make sure that you selected it. Now you want to scroll all the way to the top and turn this off with this button.
There's much for you to do. There's much for you to do.
Teleport checkpoint styles only affects teleport checkpoints. You can either decide to have the effect on or off. But just like lock checkpoint style, TP checkpoint style can only be changed in regular workshop settings instead of the orange workshop settings. But I'll show you how you can do that. Just like before, we're going to go into the workshop settings and go all the way to rule 92. Now you want to open up this rule and scroll all the way down until you find TP checkpoint, which should be right here. After you find it, you want to click on it. Then you want to scroll all the way down until you find Bad Aura, and then click on the drop down menu, and it should pop up a list of all the effects that you're able to use. If you change the teleport checkpoint effect to something like ring or energy sound, that basically means that there's no actual effect on top of the checkpoint besides like sparkles, and I'll show you what that looks like. Here in orb styles, you decide whether you want to use regular orbs or spheres. But me personally, I love using spheres just because that means that you're able to overlap them and create custom colors. Unlike when using regular orbs, you can't really do that or make any custom colors. However, if you want to learn how to create custom colored orbs and checkpoints, I will later be posting a video that includes a variety of customizations just like this. But if you don't feel like waiting too long for that, you can always join our Mercy Parkour Discord community and ask on how to do that in the map making help section. Refresh orb style is the style of the refresh orb, and there are 4 effects to choose from. If you have any tips in your maps, like how to do a certain level or just plugging in some of your socials, you can decide if you want the tips to have a medium font size or a large font size. After you've finished editing your workshop settings, you can now head over to lobby settings. This is where you're able to adjust how many players are able to be in the game, how many players can spectate, what spawn rooms are open depending on what team they're on, and here you can access more controls like allowing cross-platform to join your games as well. But to start off, you may want to consider reducing the amount of players to 5 to 6, just in case there are too many effects which could cause the lobby to shut down or restart. The same thing applies to spectators. This means that if there are too many spectators, it could cause the game to start lagging. That's why I recommend that you keep this at around 2 to 4, just so that these things don't happen. If there's a certain spawn room that you want to open, but it's on the enemy team's side, you can always switch the max team 1 players all the way to 0, and then raise max team 2 players to the amount that you want. Because I'm on console, it automatically does not allow people who are on PC to join my lobby. So by turning console only off, it allows PC players to also be able to join my lobbies. After you're finished with lobby settings, head over to select a map. Here you're able to choose a variety of maps and choose what time of day you want them to be on. Skirmish maps gives you the whole map to work with, while Team Deathmatch only gives you a certain portion of the map to be in. The first thing you should know when starting a parkour is how to navigate through the map by using button commands. Peace version 2 allows you to go in and out of edit mode by swapping your weapon. Having your staff out allows you to play your parkour freely without messing something up in edit mode, while having your pistol out allows you to change things in the parkour. You can use Valk to get to any place on the map just by pressing your ult button to fly around freely. In order to cancel your Valk, press melee 2 times. If you want to walk through walls and barriers freely, hold your reload button, and this will disable movement collision with environments. It should display a small message text to let you know that you did it correctly. To turn it back on, you hold your reload button again, and you shouldn't be able to walk through walls. In order to walk freely around the map, regardless of being between 2 levels, to either fix or add something more, you'd want to get into free mode. You do this by pressing crouch, reload, and melee at the same time. You'll know you did it correctly when there's a small message text that appears and you're able to walk freely. Now to re-enable, you would press crouch, reload, and melee again. To move forward a level in edit mode, press your blue beam and primary fire at the same time. Then to move back a level, press your blue beam and secondary fire. Now to move through checkpoints out of edit mode or with your staff out is a little bit different. You would need to press melee, blue beam, and primary fire to go forward, and melee, blue beam, and secondary fire to go backwards. This command only applies to control maps. If you want to change the map that you're on without having to fly manually to the other maps, you need to use the group up voice in your communication wheel. In order to switch the mode that you're in, double press Interact. There will be a small message text that'll tell you the mode that you're switching to, and you can also see it at the top corner of your screen. You're also able to use different sprays to select the mode that you want, so instead of having to switch through every mode to get to the one that you want, you can just switch using your sprays. So up spray is checkpoint mode, right spray is orb mode, down spray is sphere mode, and lastly left spray is cloud mode. You can set a temporary checkpoint for yourself by double pressing blue beam. This also allows you to teleport yourself back to that position every single time you press reload. To undo this action, double press blue beam again. If you wish to go into third person, hold reload and jump at the same time. Now to undo this action, re-hold jump and reload at the same time. Find an area where you want to start the parkour. The first checkpoint will be the starting point of the parkour. In order to place the checkpoint, press Interact and Primary Fire at the same time. To delete a checkpoint, press Interact and Secondary Fire. Insert point is for when you want to add a checkpoint between two already existing checkpoints. You would first want to look for an area where to place down your checkpoint, then you want to press Interact and Melee at the same time. This means that instead of only having 2 checkpoints, you now have 3. Select point is used to switch through different points. To go forward a level, press Blue Beam and Primary Fire. To go backwards, press Blue Beam and Secondary Fire. To move a selected checkpoint, make sure you first have selected the right checkpoint. After, you want to find the desired area, then press Interact and Blue Beam. If you want the level to include crouch and it doesn't already have crouch automatically enabled with each new level, press Interact and Crouch. And if you don't want the level to include crouch, re-press Interact and Crouch. The small message text would also be able to let you know when this is turned off and when it's turned on. To make a teleport point, press Interact and Jump. Note that you only need to make one teleport point for points to connect. The next point that you have after the teleport point is where the players will be teleported to. To delete a teleport point, press Interact and Jump. If you want to increase the size of your checkpoint, hold Interact and Jump. If you want to decrease the size, hold Interact and Crouch. Make a bot by pressing Melee and Primary Fire. If you want to move the bot to a different location, re-press Melee and Primary Fire. If you want to delete the bot, press Melee and Secondary Fire. If you want to add a res bot to your map, you first want to place down a bot. Then you want to press Melee and Blue Beam. You can still move the bot's location to anywhere you want after this. Now to make the bot back into a regular bot, you just want to press Melee and Blue Beam again. Refresh GA applies to res bots. If you want the player to be able to have their GA back after res, press your GA and Melee at the same time. If you want to undo this, re-press GA and Melee at the same time. Orbs are very useful for directing and ensuring that specific texts are being used and the right paths are being taken. For example, a map could be telling you to approach a level a certain way, but without an orb, the player would be able to choose and take their own path. This also applies to ensure that certain texts are being done, like b-hops and rules. Create an orb by pressing Interact and Primary Fire. Raycast Create is used for placing an orb without having to move your character's location. You would just need to aim in the desired direction you would want the orb to be in. This can be a little bit weird because it may not place the orb exactly where you want it to be, like being too far back or too far forward. Keep in mind that there is a limit to how far you can place orbs this way. To do this, hold Interact and Primary Fire. To delete an orb, press Interact and Secondary Fire. Insert orb is just like insert checkpoint. If you want to add an orb between two already existing orbs, you would first want to be in free mode, then select the area where you want to place down the orb. After you find the area, press Interact and Melee at the same time. This may seem silly, but it may save you a lot of time when you notice you want to add another orb or another refresh bot to your level, but would have to rearrange everything in order for it to flow. Raycast Insert is the same as Insert Orb, except this time you can use Raycast to place them down. To do this, you would need to hold Interact and Melee. To select between different orbs, you would need to press Blue Beam and Primary Fire to cycle forward, and Blue Beam and Secondary Fire to cycle backwards. If you want to move your orb's position, press Blue Beam and Melee. Now there will be a list of ways where you can adjust your orb. Here you can move freely. This means you'll be able to look and place your orb exactly where you want it. It can take a lot of getting used to, especially if you're upgrading from the older piece editor or are just new to map making in general. Also, if you have multiple orbs here that you want to switch between, you would only have to put your crosshair on them and press primary and secondary fire on them at the same time. Instead of having to exit out, select the orb that you want and then come back. To move the position of the orb, hold primary and secondary fire to pick up the orb, and move using your mouse or stick in any direction you'd like. If you want to change the distance of the orb, hold primary and secondary fire to pick it up. Then hold your movement keys or stick to go forward or backwards. So for controller, you're just using your left movement stick to move the orb's direction. So forward makes the orb go further, while back makes the orb come closer. And on PC, your W key makes the orb go further, and your S key makes the orb come closer. Raycast here does the exact same thing as Raycast in regular orb settings, except this time you can go as far as you'd like to place down an orb. This is still a little tricky to get the orb in the perfect position if you want the orb to be in the middle of an archway or a door frame. But keep in mind, this is the only way you can add an orb while in edit/move orb. So you can always just exit out and place the orb regularly. To place the orb, hold interact and primary fire. Delete an orb by pressing interact and secondary fire. Raycast insert is the exact same as Raycast insert in regular orb mode, except this time you can place the orb with this new camera feature. You place down this new orb by holding interact and melee. When you're done editing, press interact and blue beam. Just like in checkpoint mode, there are orb bots, but there first must be an orb placed down to make a bot in orb mode. To create or move a bot, press melee and primary fire. If you want to delete the bot, press melee and secondary fire. If you want the bot to become a res bot, press melee and blue beam. To undo this, you want to repress melee and blue beam. Refresh GA applies when you make a res bot. If you want the player to be able to have their GA back after res, press your GA and melee at the same time. If you want to disable this, press GA and melee at the same time again. Spheres can be used to block paths and enforce different texts without having to use orbs. Once a player touches a sphere, they are reset. You can create a sphere by pressing interact and primary fire. Raycast is just like Raycast on orbs. Look in a specific direction where you want to add the sphere, then hold interact and primary fire to place down a sphere. Delete a sphere by pressing interact and secondary fire. To select a specific sphere among other spheres, press blue beam and primary fire to cycle forward, and blue beam and secondary fire to cycle backwards. If you want to increase the size of a sphere, hold your interact and jump. If you want to decrease the size, hold interact and crouch. Edit/move sphere is almost exactly like edit/move orb, so if you understood that, this will be a bit easier to understand or get the hang of. To activate this, press interact and blue beam. To change the distance of the sphere, hold primary and secondary fire to pick it up, then hold your movement keys or stick to go forward and backwards. Like before, on controller, use your left movement stick to move the sphere's direction, and on PC, you use your W and S key to move the sphere forward or backwards. To increase the sphere's radius in this mode, hold primary fire, secondary fire, and jump at the same time. To decrease the sphere's radius in this mode, hold primary fire, secondary fire, and crouch at the same time. Raycast Create is how you add more spheres in this mode. Look in the direction where you want to place down the sphere, then hold interact and primary fire. You can delete a sphere by pressing interact and secondary fire. After you're finished editing, press interact and blue beam. Clouds create a platform that gives players an extra boost or helps reach higher places without having to use GA or B-hop. Create a cloud by pressing interact and primary fire. Raycast Create for clouds works in the same way as Raycast for orbs and spheres. Look at the area where you want to place down the cloud, then hold Interact and Primary Fire. Delete a cloud by pressing Interact and Secondary Fire. To select a cloud from other clouds in the level, press Blue Beam and Primary Fire to cycle forward, and Blue Beam and Secondary Fire to cycle backwards. To increase the cloud's bounce level, hold Interact and jump. To decrease the bounce level, hold Interact and crouch. To edit or move the cloud, press Interact and Blue Beam. To move the cloud, hold Secondary and Primary Fire, then use your mouse or left stick. To adjust the distance of the cloud, hold Primary and Secondary Fire to pick it up, and hold your movement keys or stick to go forward and backwards. On controller, use your left movement stick to move the cloud's direction, and on PC you use your W and S key to move it forward or backwards. You can increase the bounce level of the clouds here by holding Primary Fire, Secondary Fire, and Jump. You can decrease by holding Primary Fire, Secondary Fire, and Crouch. You can use Raycast to create more clouds in your level by holding Interact and Primary Fire. To delete a cloud, press Interact and Secondary Fire. When you're done editing, press Interact and Blue Beam to exit out of cloud settings. Now that you've seen all the basics on how to place and edit things in your parkours, here are some level examples made by some amazing creators in the community. If you want to save your map, you must first be in free mode. This means that you can either be on the last level of your parkour, or in between 2 points and just be in free mode. Now if you are in between 2 points and you don't want to skip all the way to the end, I do recommend that you switch to your staff, because if you go into free mode with your pistol out, you might activate undue steps, which might cause you to lose something in your parkour. So by changing to your staff, that won't happen. Now that you're in free mode, you want to take out your pistol, and you want to press 3 buttons at the same time. Now you're going to press crouch, your GA, and you're going to start walking backwards. After your data gets exported, you want to open up your menu, and you want to find the option that says Open Workshop Inspector. After you click on this, it'll show up on the screen. You want to make sure that this box above the blue line says Live with the little red dot next to it. If it doesn't have the red dot, you just want to click on it and make sure that it activates. You're also going to make sure that this line is all the way at the end. After you've confirmed that those are good, you want to go down to this drop down menu that says Auto, and you now want to switch it to Global. After you do this, you want to click on this X right here. It acts as a copy button, so what you want to do is you want to click on it a couple of times to make sure that you have copied. After you've clicked on this a couple of times, you want to exit out of this, and now you want to go into your menu again, and this time you want to click Open Workshop Editor. You now want to scroll all the way until you get to Rule 1, where it says Put Data Here. Now you want to click on this drop down menu and scroll down until you find this orange Paste button. After you click this, it'll paste all of your game's data. Now you're going to exit out of here and go into your regular lobby settings. There are 2 ways in which you can save your game. There is saving it as a preset and saving it as a code. Saving it as a preset means that only you are able to play your game unless other players are invited into your game, but sharing it as a code means that you're able to share with a large amount of people without needing to be in the lobby. This creates a special code just for your maps. To save it as a preset, you want to click on this icon that looks like a little camera, and it will show this. What I would suggest is that you give it a name based on the map that you're working on. So instead of just naming it Mercy Parkour, you could give it the name of the map that you're actually in. Because if you have enough Mercy Parkour maps, you might get lost in which map that you're talking about. After it saves, you will find it in your preset section. To save your map to a code, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this third icon with the 3 dots. And since it's your first time creating a code, you would click Continue. And it'll pop up a code generated just for your map. I would recommend that you save this code just so that in case you want to rework on your map, you don't accidentally forget this code and you're no longer able to access your map. Now, I recommend that you write this code down or you take a picture of it to ensure that you remember the code that you worked on so that you don't lose your map. Now, I'm going to be going over how you save after you make edits to your map. Like before, we are going to go into free mode and take out our pistol and do the exact same things by crouching, pressing your GA, and walking backwards. After you're here, you want to go into the workshop inspector again, make sure that everything's good, press global, copy, and now you want to go into the workshop editor, and you want to scroll down until you find rule 1. After you're here, you want to click on this little action that says select all, and now you want to delete. After you delete, you want to paste over your new data. After you finish, you want to go back into your lobby. If you're saving it as a preset, you want to click on this icon again. You're going to select this drop down menu and then click on your preset. After you do that, you want to make sure you click save. To save it as a code, you're now going to click on these 3 dots again, and instead you're going to click on the drop down menu and you're going to upload to existing code. After you're here, you want to type up your code in this black box. When you do that, make sure that you press continue and it will save your progress. I know I said I wouldn't get into any customizations aside from Orange Workshop customizations, but these quality of life changes may actually be crucial in the development of your map, such as rules like the Get Orb rule, which lets you pick up orbs during res, walking levels, which enables you to walk freely around the map, infinite GA that lets you use GA infinitely without having to pick up an orb, and levels that ban b-hop. I won't be talking about things like cooldown reset and bot floating, because with this version of the editor, they are already built in. If you would like to make a res level while also being able to pick up an orb at the same time, you may want to do some tweaking to the orb rule. Open the workshop settings and scroll to rule 67, orb detect. On the action section, you want to select from if to end. Once you have selected all of these actions, you want to click on this on-off button and turn all of these actions off. Walking levels allow you to walk freely around the map without getting reset. There are many ways in which you could use this feature. Open your workshop and look for Rule 5, Other Settings. Click on the action that says Set Levels that allow you to walk, and bear with me as I try to explain this part as easily as I can. All of the negative ones you see represent a certain level that you can turn into a walking level. For instance, let's say that I want to make levels 0 to 5 into a walking level. I would first change every -1 to the level that I want. Now all of these levels are going to be turned into walking levels as soon as I reset the map. But as you can tell, one of the numbers that I mentioned is missing, and there is no empty bar area that I can put it in. In this case, what you would do is that you exit out of here and copy this action and paste it, and now you should have more room to put in walking levels. Infinite GA allows you to use your GA infinitely without having to pick up any orbs. Following the same steps as with walking levels, go into Rule 5 and this time click on Set Levels that allow infinite GA. The same concept for walking levels applies to both infinite GA and ban b-hop. Change the -1s to levels that you want to allow infinite GA, and then when you're done, make sure you save and restart the lobby so that the new settings can take effect. Sometimes you may make a level that is intended to be a sling or use a specific tech, but with b-hop cancels, the level is easily cheesed. To prevent this, you would need to set up levels that ban b-hop. Open your workshop and find Rule 5. Click on the action that says Set Levels that ban b-hop. Just like in walking levels and infinite GA, change the -1s to levels you want to add a ban to b-hop. Again, if you run out of space, just copy the action and paste it again. Publishing your parkour is the second most important part aside from making it, of course. There are two ways in which you would be able to publish it. You can decide whether you want to publish it in the Mercy Parkour Discord server, or publish it in workshops.codes, which you can access through any browsing site. Or you can do both. In workshops.code, you can publish your code to the entire Overwatch community, so it won't just reach the Mercy Parkour community. You can decide to join the Mercy Parkour Discord community and publish your maps in the map code section. And remember to use @CodePing when you publish. This will inform all the people in the server that have new map notifications on, which is mostly everyone. Please remember not to use @everyone. By joining the Mercy Parkour Discord server, your maps get shared to everyone inside of the community, while also being placed inside of the Mercy Parkour spreadsheet, which is where all the parkours have been archived since the beginning of Mercy Parkour time. It will also be placed in the Mercy Parkour website later on by one of the website editors. I hope you were able to take away a lot from this video and learn the basics to map making. First, thank you to my Skit Crew who all worked really hard and did an amazing job, especially you, Kara, for taking on so many tasks and roles for me. They will all be linked in the description below. And thank you to Carl for being there for nearly the entire video progress. which took a really, really long time. Also, thank you to all the amazingly talented mapmakers that let me use their maps as level demonstrations. They will also be pinged in the description below. Check them all out and see and play their other maps. Don't forget to check out the Mercy Parkour Discord server and the Mercy Parkour website. They both have various amount of resources available for you to use. I will later be posting the customization guides later on, and feel free to let me know what customizations you would want to learn how to do. As always, take care of yourselves and remember, map making is just for fun, don't take it too seriously. Make sure you take breaks every now and then. The process of map making should feel fun, it shouldn't feel like a second job.
Tell me 3, 2, 1 again.
3, 2, 1, go.
YOLO. What's the wrong word?
Wow.
Got this.
Already said that, you have to say YOLO.
Oh fuck. YOLO.
Got an ass full of us.
YOLO.
Seriously.
Seriously. Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Okay. So like
Remember
I
to
wasn't
move
even
your
trying,
camera.
or
Yes,
Yeah.
you try.
okay.
Okay, ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
That was oh
Okay.
Dang, girl
Okay,
got
sorry.
tired.
my stick drift, guys.
1, go.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
that was a good first try.
Earth to
I don't know
Kara.
what happened to me. I'm
Okay, it's okay.
sorry.
Like B for this one.
Wait, why is there 4 mercies here? Oh,
The
and all
staff's
that
in the
was
way.
left.
The plane.
The staff. Clean up on aisle 4. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Guys.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You gotta die somewhere else, girl.
I'm sorry. I'm like. Oh no, I knew this map was haunted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can we get rid of those mercies? Finish,
Look, it's a biblically accurate angel.
finish the parkour.
Oh no, I knew this map was haunted. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
forgot.
do that, but like,
Do a little
you know,
twirl.
like sooner, you know? That was perfect though.
Wait. So like this
Yeah.
at the end, like
Yeah, like when you're saying I knew this was haunted, just like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but like tweak out, like what's it called? Like have it in your voice, like you're tweaking out, you know? Like, oh no, I knew this map was haunted. Like, yeah, I like that.
Like tweak, like am I tweaking out like I'm on crack or like
Tweak out like you're scared.
like okay.
Okay, you ready?
like
3?
I'm on crack.
Yes.
Perfect. Got it. Hold down.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell is that?
Wait,
What's
what's
happening?
happening? Guys,
Where's she
help!
going? No.
What?
Wait, can we try that again? Carl, can you not go like 30 feet into the air? Cause what the hell was that? You see my camera angle? I'm gonna look up, and then boom.
He's a bird.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell
Wait,
is that?
what's
Wait,
happening?
you make that happen.
The
Oh
fuck?
my
You
gosh.
guys were a little too close.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'm just gonna start it so that I don't have to like. Alright. Ready? Oh,
Hold on.
No.
Yo.
okay, 3, 2, oh. Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Wait.
idea.
Or maybe it's a ego
Some
thing.
people are absolute creatures.
Beep beep.
What the fuck?
Wait, you can control it yourself? Or like what?
Yeah,
What?
you
Oh,
need to
you
clip
can
that. Oh my gosh.
control it?
Wait, why did she move so fast?
Beep beep.